So in the last video I was starting to make my shape, but now I'm starting over and I want to follow the book exactly here. They had started doing it a little bit differently. So take my pen tool, and again, like before, I'm going to click outside in the gray by the 2-inch marker. And for the second point, instead of using the guides like what I was initially wanting to do, they wanted to show you that you can actually follow that as you move your mouse around your canvas, you can see where it is on the X and Y axis of your rulers. For example, you can see there's a little dotted line that moves on the x-axis as I move my mouse up and down. And then if I move it across, you can see that the little dotted line follows my mouse. So if I use that, I can actually figure out where the next anchor point should be if I want to keep it at Y2 and X1. And click, and again, don't let go, just drag so you can get that rounded Bezier curve. And then if I want to click my next point at the 2-inch marker on the X, and keep with the Y, the 2-inch for the Y axis. Now I've got 2 points. Now if I stay here, you can see that the curve follows the last curve. Like each anchor point is going to continue the curve from where it was. They're all connected. It's very fluid. So I actually made a mistake here, and so what you do is if you make a mistake, you can delete that anchor point and then go back and click on the last point that you made to continue drawing. And what happens is if you don't click on that last point, then say I'm going to go back in time. If I don't click on that last point and I just click on where I want the next anchor point to be, what actually happens is I start creating a second shape. And I don't want to do that in this case. I want to continue with my original shape. So I'm going to go back and then make sure to click again on that last point that I drew. And as you can see, once I do that, then all of a sudden the handlebars are activated, and I know that that shape is activated. It says I'm on my shape layer 1 and my shape 1 layer, and I haven't created a new one. So that's what I want. So now this time, before I draw my next point, I'm going to do something by holding Alt or Option on my keyboard and clicking on that mouse or on that point, you can, or hovering over it, you can see that there's a little symbol that appears next to my pen tool. It's a little bent arrow, and that's the convert anchor point symbol. And so if I click now, I just removed one of the handlebars from my anchor point. And what that did was it turned it into a corner point. Instead of a rounded anchor, it's going to have a corner anchor point there instead. So watch when I put in my second anchor point, or actually it's my third anchor point at the 2-inch marker here, it's not going to continue the rounded curve that I had initially had going on before I clicked on the corner point option, the convert anchor point to corner point option. And so that's what I want. This is the look that we're going for, this like curve, curve, corner, curve, corner. So I have to make sure to do that and repeat this over and over again. So again, hold Option or Alt on your keyboard and click on the point, and then draw the next one at the 3-inch marker on the x-axis, 2-inch on the y. Pull, let go, hold Alt or Option, click to turn it into a corner point again. Draw the next one, and it doesn't have to be pretty. Just keep going. Once you've created a shape, you can always adjust it later. I think it's a lot easier to do that than to stop. Okay, and with the 7th one, I'm going to go outside into the gray. Oops, again, I forgot to change that into a corner point. So now I'm getting this curve here. I'm going to quickly fix it by deleting that point. Let's see. And then activating it, holding Alt or